to the latest episode of From Brian's Brain. And we have a special guest with us today. Brian has brought with him Maureen, his partner, and we're going to share a little bit. Our theme today really is for those of you who watched the Oscars or didn't watch the Oscars. We know there was craziness that happened, but there was some beautiful things that happened. And one of them was the lovely interaction between Lady Gaga and Liza Minnelli, which also reminded us of the wonderful interaction between Lady Gaga and Tony Bennett. So that's kind of what we want to focus on today, those beautiful, respectful pieces. And that's really very appropriate for today's conversation, which I'm going to turn over to Maureen and Brian to kind of help frame for us.
So Brian, how did you feel when you watched Lady Gaga and Tony Bennett?
You could tell that I look at eyes to see whether or not they are there, or in this world or in dementia world. His eyes were wide open, but then when he started singing, it was flawless. It was as if he sounded just like his recording of the song. And it was, I mean, it brought me to tears to see how well he did there. But then after the song was over, so did he. He didn't know which way to walk off. So Lady Gaga help him to go the right way and so forth. I saw that in person when I saw Glenn Campbell on his goodbye tour. And as long as he was playing his guitar and singing, flawless, because it was still in his head, but kind of like me right now. I have to really think hard about what I'm trying to say. But when he played, but then when the song ended, so was he. And he just stood there. And then his daughter would send out, give him the title of the song. And he went right in. Now, that's what
Lady Gaga.
just hold on. That's what Maureen does for me. She knows how to get words out of me, and she'll throw a word at me, and I get back on track until I'm either free of fog or just conversion of what I'm trying to say. And that's it's she's my care partner, but she is more my life partner. And she doesn't complain. Well, a little bit.
That's okay.
Gotta tell truth here. But because I can be kind of a handful. So
But Brian,
yeah.
I'm guessing that was true long before dementia was a part of your life.
I have had family members and friends confirm that, Joan.
Yeah.
Well, and I think Lady Gaga has done two things that are very challenging, very difficult to do, and they have to come from the heart. They can't just come from the head. The first one is to realize it's not about her. She didn't make the entire event when Tony Bennett was singing about her. She sang a few lines or would help him along. But the other thing is that it's okay to make mistakes. People are so afraid of mistakes, and it keeps someone living with dementia, certainly, and I'm sure many, many other diseases, from sharing their gifts with us because of the societal pressures of being perfect. And I think, again, that, like Brian said, Brian and I have found a way to respectfully, not always perfectly, I make mistakes too, but respectfully get him to be able to speak and get him to be able to present. One of the stories that we love to tell is that I thought, after he'd been out of the loop in public speaking in person all during COVID, that it'd be a good idea for him to have written bullet points in front of him the first time he spoke about what he wanted to say. So we did create those. And I'm sitting in the front row of the audience, and Brian's going through the bullet points on the first page. Boom, boom, boom. He's hitting every one of them. Gets down to the bottom, and back to the top of the page he goes and starts over. So I got up and I said, well, Brian, thank you for that dementia test. And it looks like we all failed. So let's go to the second page. So, smooth, not making a big deal, using humor to get over the bumps. And I saw Lady Gaga do that as well.
And what a wonderful message. I mean, as I said at the beginning, that wasn't the big talk after the Oscars, but it should have been the big talk, because that was the beautiful message. Brian, you've given me such a gift over the years that we have been friends, to remind me that you are you, and not think about the fact that Alzheimer's is a part of your life. It is, and I respect that, just as I would anyone in any situation. But I don't hold back. Our conversations are wild and crazy, and as they should be. And I have so much fun, but I have learned so very much from the graciousness that you have shown to me over the years.
Well, thank you very, very much. You have you've done you've done the same for me, treating me like normal.
And
Well,
Brian's anything but normal.
I was saying, what is normal anyway? And so I kind of want to end by just sharing one thing with our listeners. At the beginning of this, before we started recording, as you can see, Brian, this isn't one of your best days. And I asked, do you want to continue and do this? And Brian said, yes, it's who he is. And he wants to share that with all of you. So what an incredible gift, Brian, sharing with me, sharing with all of us who are listening, so we can better understand. And so maybe we can learn to be just a little bit more gracious even.
If I did not show myself in all that I am, then that would not be fair, because the truth. I want to give the truth of what this disease does to people like me. I know one day I'm not gonna come out of this, and you say.
And that scares him every time he's in the fog, that he's not going to come out of it. So today we've all modeled what people ask us all the time is, what can I do? And I always say, you can model the world that you want to see. And Brian has done that, and Joan, you do that beautifully.
Well, and I thank you both. I think this is truly, I think, the most special from Brian's brain that we've had the privilege of recording, Brian. So I thank you so very much, and Maureen, and you are in our thoughts and prayers. And God willing, this fog will lift.
I'm hoping it will. But it's weird when you talk about your brain as a person. It's almost like it's its own entity. And I don't know. It's just rough. But I didn't, like you said, I didn't want to not do this, because then I wouldn't be true, not only to me, but to everyone who watch.
Well, thank you so very much. We are truly in your debt. And Brian, keep that song in your heart, because I know that's also something that just as Tony, you may not be as famous as Tony Bennett or Liza Minnelli, but you have the same passion, and let that music guide you. And maybe that's what you need right now to help you get out of this crazy fog.
Yeah, I had my headphones on earlier, right before we came on. So that kind of lifted a little bit. So that's what works.
Well, I'm so grateful for today's message that you have shared. I thank you. I wish you both a wonderful day, and we're going to hear great things coming forward.
Bye. You have a great day too, Joan.
And I guess I should have ironed my shirt. But,
That's the important thing.
There you go. You know what? You are who you are, and we love you any way you are. So bless you, and we'll be in touch.
Thank you, Joan. Bye-bye.